Today, we're talking about a remarkable man, a pioneer in television, an author, a minister, and so much more. Let's dive into the extraordinary life of Damon Wilson, who's best known for his legendary role as Lamont Sanford on the iconic sitcom Sanford and Son. But his life story is so much deeper than that. Damon Wilson was born on October 13, 1946, in Valdosta, Georgia, in the southern United States. Growing up in Harlem, New York, he was raised in the heartbeat of African American culture, in a city where art, music, and the fight for civil rights intertwined. From an early age, Damon showed sparks of ambition, but what truly shaped him was his parents. His parents were integral to his journey and his grounding. While the full names of Wilson's parents aren't easy to find in public records, what we do know is that they instilled in him a sense of perseverance and spirituality, which became guiding principles for his life. Damon's father, a man of strong values, worked tirelessly to provide for the family. He believed in faith, integrity, and community support. He was the type of man so many looked up to, a provider, a teacher, and a moral compass. His mother had significant influence over his devotion to faith, planting the seeds of spirituality that would later guide him into the ministry. It's often said behind every great man is a great foundation, and for Damon, his parents were that steady and reliable force. Now, moving into Damon's early years, here's an inspiring piece of his story. As a child, he balanced between two distinct passions. The first was performing. He was involved in the arts from a young age, becoming enamored with acting and the stage. His second passion? His spiritual journey. Even as a youngster, he was naturally drawn to faith. While others his age often questioned life's mysteries, Damon sought wisdom from Scripture. And let's not forget a pivotal moment in his early years. When he was a child, Damon suffered an appendix rupture that nearly claimed his life. This near-death experience profoundly changed him and, according to Wilson, solidified his commitment to a greater purpose. By the time Damon was a teenager, he had already decided that life was fleeting and that following his calling, whether on the stage or in the church, was non-negotiable. Now let's fast forward to his professional journey. Damon Wilson first cut his teeth in the entertainment industry as a Broadway performer. That's right, before television, it was Broadway. He performed in various stage productions, establishing himself as a promising young talent. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. For any young black actor in the 1960s, breaking into the mainstream was an uphill battle. Yet Damon's charisma and determination propelled him forward. By the early 1970s, the entertainment world was shifting. Television was booming, and Norman Lear, a pioneer of progressive sitcoms, was on the lookout for a cast to form the groundbreaking show Sanford and Son. Enter Damon Wilson, charming, talented, and perfect for the role of Lamont Sanford, the street-smart yet warm son of the iconic Fred Sanford, played by the legendary Red Fox. Together, they brought something unique to television. Their chemistry wasn't just evident, it was electric. The father-son duo captured the hearts of millions. Premiering in 1972, Sanford and Son became a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just funny, it was incredibly heartfelt. It tackled real issues with an edge of humor that people could relate to. Damon's portrayal of Lamont Sanford transformed him into a household name. Audiences fell in love with Lamont's wit, his work ethic, and his loyalty to his cantankerous yet lovable father. The show ran for 6 seasons, cementing itself as one of the greatest sitcoms in television history. To this day, it remains a classic. And while Damon Wilson was basking in fame during his television career, his personal life was grounding him. Damon married Cicely Louise Johnston in 1974, an accomplished woman in her own right. Johnston worked as a stewardess at the time, and her beauty and intelligence stood out. Together, they built a family filled with faith, love, and priorities that went far beyond Hollywood. They have 6 children, and while Damon has deliberately kept much of his children's lives private, as any good parent would, we know that family is profoundly important to him. Raising 6 kids in a world often dominated by the glitz and glamour of show business was no small feat, but to Damon and Cicely, family always came first. While his children's lives have largely remained out of the public eye, Demond made it clear over the years that his role as a father was one of his most cherished roles. His journey as a parent mirrored in many ways his own upbringing, focused on faith, community, and resilience. But here's where the story of Demond Wilson takes an incredible turn, one that separates him from so many Hollywood stars. At the peak of his fame, Demond began feeling empty, a void that even success, wealth, and popularity couldn't fill. This spiritual emptiness led him down a path of self-discovery. In the late 1970s, Damon transitioned away from the entertainment spotlight to reconnect with his spiritual roots. Ultimately, this led him into Christian ministry. By the 1980s, Damon became an ordained minister and began dedicating his life to spreading the gospel. He left much of Hollywood behind to focus on his faith-based ministry work. Over the years, he's preached across the United States, helping thousands through his sermons, spiritual guidance, and books. Damon has written numerous works on faith and religion, becoming a well-regarded voice in spiritual conversations. Titles like Second Banana, the bittersweet memoirs of the Sanford and Son years, offered readers an intimate glimpse of his life, blending his Hollywood stories with his deep moral convictions. But that doesn't mean he completely left acting behind. In the years after Sanford and Son, Demond appeared in films and television shows, including roles in The New Odd Couple and Me and the Kid. His career was a balancing act, finding ways to harmonize the entertainment industry and his ministry work. While Demond's professional achievements are endless, his personal life remains equally inspiring. He and his wife are a testament to enduring love, weathering fame, and raising a faith-filled family. And his siblings, though not as publicly known, had a profound influence on his life. Some sources suggest that growing up in a tight-knit upbringing with his brothers and sisters honed his understanding of loyalty and unity. As we look back on his legacy, Demond Wilson continues to be a beacon of transformation. From his iconic role on television to his resilient personal life, and ultimately his dedication to faith, his story reminds us of the importance of listening to a higher calling and staying true to oneself. Whether as Lamont Sanford, a Broadway actor, an author, a preacher, or simply the loving husband and father he is, Demond Wilson has lived a life worth celebrating. So, as we wrap up this incredible story, let's honor a man who showed us that it's not about where you start, but how your faith, determination, and heart can truly guide you to where you're meant to be. Demond Wilson, a TV legend, a man of faith, and an inspiration for generations to come.